oh god, is that what we started that session with?
Yeah, that was what we started that.
We started the session off with the dangerous door. And the, let's see here. Socorro tries to touch the door, but Triss picks her up under the arms and drops her on the dragon behind Maxis. Rue fires an arrow at the door, and it broke off the doorknob. Quana inspects the door, but rolls like shit. Maxis goes to pick up a stone, but Quana is already picking up the doorknob, of which freezes to the door, or returns to the door, freezes the cloth that's around his hand. So all of us are like, no touchy. Maxis looks around, finds writing on the floor. Maxis and Rue can't read it, but Quana and Socorro can. The writing says, all those who ask are welcome here. So Quana asks the door, may we enter? But nothing happens. Socorro asks for permission to enter in Celestial.
Denied.
Maxis asked after the language Socorro had just spoken in, but she didn't realize she'd spoken any differently. Koana informs the others what the writing says, and while everyone else tries a verbal ask, Triss rolls her eyes and knocks on the door. The door opens into a room where the floor is quite literally lava. There's a firefall, if I can read right. Not a waterfall, a firefall, on the far wall. Everybody hears a giant lava monster moving, and that just makes everybody just go, nope. Koana and Maxis did not even step in, but the other three hear a voice in their head as the lava monster looks their way that says, leave my home now. And everyone backs out, and the door slams shut. We return to the pillar, and Maxis asks if anyone knows what the pillar might need. Maxis mentions an earth crystal, or thing, at his home village. Rue mentions a fire one at his home village, and a rival one. Some tie between those. Koana mentions knowing where a water one might be at. And then the group starts with the surface. Maxis tries to carry Maple Rose up, but Triss pulls the I'm taller card and carries Maple Rose instead. Socorro quickly bestows names and reassures the crystal dragons that she would be back. And of our dragons, we have the one painted by Maple Rose is Confetti, purple crystal is Chomp, blue crystal is Tinsel, and white crystal is Twinkle? I have Tinkle, and I think that's right.
I don't think that one's correct. They're crystals. I don't think they can go Tinkle.
It might, you don't know. We did not spend a lot of time with them.
Smaller crystals.
No, is it Tinkle
that
like the
sounds
sound?
like it would hurt.
Probably.
My brain just does tinkle like the sound like crystals can make, just like a tinkling.
Yeah.
Was it Tinsel?
Tinsel
and
was
Tinkle.
one of them. Twinkle or Tinkle?
Twinkle. It's
Twinkle,
definitely
okay, with a W.
Twinkle and Tinsel.
Okay. Yes. Once they get to the top, they're on their way to go look at a map. At the top of the pit, Maxis asks after where to go, and Koana offers he knows where a map is at. No one needs to stop by the room, but Socorro asks if they could stop to buy her a wing care kit on the way to Felina's, of which Koana knows of where a place is and agrees to make a pit stop. En route, Triss checks in on Maxis, but Maxis says he's fine. Triss pushes a little bit, but Maxis doesn't want to in among the crowds and the group. At the wing care place, Rue I can read, I swear. Rue stops Socorro and tells her that she doesn't have to answer questions, and she doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to do. They enter to where there are two Aarakocra behind the counter. Rue immediately tells them to not overwhelm Socorro. Koana informs them that the group is from out of town. Yeah, no, Rue is just like, immediately, I got eyes on you. Koana informs them that the group is from out of town. Socorro tries to make herself small and is able to hide why she is trying. Maxis takes her hand like he would before shows and gives it a squeeze. Rue intimidates the shopkeepers so much they're flustered throughout the transaction. Socorro shuffles back out as soon as the transaction is complete. Maxis follows without letting go of her hand and picks a direction. Koana scoops up the purchase and shoves it into Rue's arms before jogging after Maxis and Socorro to take the lead. And then as Rue is leaving, he overhears the Aarakocra mutter, "Those damn tabaxi." Thelina takes Maple Rose and agrees to watch over her. On the way to the preservatory, the group, except for Koana, who is used to it, overhears an elderly couple mutter, "Oh gods, now there are now 2. Now we're going to have more walking bad luck." Maxis looks around and realizes that a lot of the folks are glaring daggers at Koana and are sending these same glares at Rue. Maxis asks Koana if the hate is normal. Koana shrugs and offers that it's normal for him, but they don't normally target visitors, so Rue should be fine. Uncomfortable for being under such scrutiny he never thought he would experience, Rue does not overhear this. Tris decides to go have some fun and tries to intimidate the little couple with, "You know what I hate? The elderly who refuse to get in their graves. Would you care for some assistance with that?"
I'm very proud of that line.
It was good.
Would you like some fries with that?
You want some fries?
Basically, the equivalent.
You want some aloe for that bird? Koana flounders trying to go stop them, but Maxis just tells him to stay, that it's just Tris' thing. Koana accepts it and doesn't go to grab Tris. The woman of the couple screeches, and the man shouts something about getting Tris arrested for threatening them. Socorro screeches in response, and it gets Rue to snap out of his overwhelm.
Bird screech!
Screech! As they resume walking to the preservatory, Maxis and Socorro sandwich Rue, while Trist falls into step next to Koana. Trist offers to do it again, but Koana explains that it's best to just leave things be. Trist then says if they, collective, are making things worse, to speak up, and Koana shares that Trist already had before deliberately putting distance between them. Trist apologizes as Koana is putting distance between them, and Koana offers back, "It's alright, you didn't know." At the preservatory. Massive, grand-looking building, and Koana just walks right in. Party follows. First floor has shelves upon shelves of well-tended-to, very old books. Koana leads the way into the cartography room, door on the left, and tells the group to take a seat at the table as he goes and grabs one of the in-house maps. Rue pulls out his map that is detailed only with the information he needs, his routes and stops, but no major cities. I read that word wrong. As the tour of the map comes to an end, he asks Maxis where... I don't know who this he is. He asks Maxis where his is at. I think that was Koana. Maxis, having never looked at a map, shrugs and says it's in the Grove of Donner, and it's in a forest, probably Limnaram. Ruse is in the same forest. Convenient. Koana points to a place just past Goblin Town, to a point closer to the empty that would have an influx of soulsuckers. Trying to pinpoint Grove of Donner, Koana goes and asks his great uncle, but great uncle doesn't know. But he does suggest the Druidic section. Koana returns and offers to show where the Druidic section is at, but then Rue stops and speaks up about having been to the Donner Grove. It's been 6 years, but it was hard to recall. Maxis asks if everyone is okay, and Rue goes, those that had been there had been fine. They'd saved his life. Rue suggests still doing the research, though. Koana shows the group the Druidic section and returns to his great-uncle to ask if his great-uncle has any idea as to where they might find a wind crystal. Great-uncle says that there are legends that the Fae use it. Koana asks where it's at, and Aberforth points to the Fae drawings on the map that Koana thought was just decorations. When asked what would be a good place to start to learn about the Feywilds, Aberforth suggests Feywilds for Dummies and the Feywild Research. as well as asking the Eladrin that's in the party. Koana nods and then asks what an Eladrin is. Aberforth sighs and goes, I have failed you, sort of sigh. Aberforth says that the Feywilds has the 4-season quartz, and Eladrins are born associated with one of the seasons. Koana returns to the stacks and finds Feywilds for Dummies by Ren Exarch. Goes to look for other books by this Ren Exarch and discovers that, like, half the research books in this section were done by this author. Like, it was an ADHD hyperfocus and settles for the Dummies book. We gotta love it when the ADHD hyperfocus just goes, this. Koana goes searching for Trist, finds Trist outside, laying in the grass just outside the door with a book held up to the sky that they're staring at like it was written in Greek. Koana asks if they're okay, and Trist comments how research isn't their thing. Koana sits beside them and asks if they know anything of the Feywilds and Eladrin. It draws a negative reaction and Trist comments how they don't, as they're not a normal Eladrin, that Koana immediately sobers to. Koana offers that they're a pair as he's not a normal Tabaxi. Koana offers the book for Dummies since it'd be easier to consume for someone who isn't used to research, and Trist would have taken offense had they not already stated they were bad at research. Koana goes to get another book, but pauses at the door asking if they were okay with company or seeking isolation. And when Trist says they don't mind the company, but stuffy libraries aren't their thing, Koana says that he's just going to go get a book and come back as the outdoors suit them better. Trist lowers the book to their face, flustered by that line, but Koana's already dipped back in to get another book. What the others have been up to? Rue found a book on the flora and fauna of the area and reads about giant pythons. Giant pythons that can eat an entire rue are hunted by Harengon. Max is walking past with a book in hand, comments, "Oh, I think I've eaten that. When prepared correctly, they are delicious." Max has found an old book on legends, trying to find more on the Firestone. Socorro is dozing at the table. Maxis asks if they can just take the books. Maxis is not checkoutable, but Rue's and Trist's are. That needs to be are, not is. And Rue takes his book, Trist does not. The plan. This is what today's session was intended. Koana offers the plan that everyone returns the next day to continue research. Yay, more research. Won't leave for a few days to get supplies and figure out where they're going specifically. Everyone can return to the observatory as he lives there. Socorro asks if they can show up even if they don't need anything. He encourages it. He also adds that if they need help finding anything in town, he's still their guide and will happily show them around still. They can just find him at the observatory as he's going to be researching at least the whole of the next day.
Yay!
Nice.
Okay, so shall I go ahead and take your point of inspiration? As that was a lot.
Surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we start with the night you guys got home to the tavern, to the shared room that the 4 of you are staying in. Socorro, you said that you were already fast asleep.
I mean, I basically was falling asleep as we were walking and almost fell asleep back in the preservatory, so pretty accurate to assume that we get back and I just, like, faceplant.
Okay. Reside to the fact that Socorro is not up for a lecture that night. Trist does join Maxis on the branch that they're not supposed to be on, outside the window. Leaving just Rue and Socorro in the bedroom. Do either of you do anything? Socorro, I know you said you went to bed, but...
Yeah, Rue's just gonna open his book and maybe get a snack.
Alright. As you said that you are a slow reader, and you asked me 3 questions, go to your Google and roll a D3 for me.
Oh my god, okay, hold on. 1.
You get to the answer to one of your questions. Which question would you like the answer to?
Okay, let me...
Because yes, I did my homework too and remembered to go through and write answers to shit.
Hell yeah.
Alright, he wants to research, I guess, how Haringons hunt the giant pythons.
All right. So Haringons fight.
I can just tell you that.
Go for it.
No. Now it's like the research is done. They researched it. They could have just asked.
In which case, I'm making this up then.
Yeah.
But the Haringons, they hunt similarly to how your tribe did, together, with weapons. But the nice thing with Rachel,
With
what?
weapons. I'm just like, I mean, how else would you hunt? Even your body could be a weapon.
With claws.
My claws are a weapon.
The Haringons do have the advantage of being able to slip from the python's very tight grasp, as they are smaller in size, and they have very powerful legs and feet that can kick for an opening. So, probably not the answer that you're looking for, but in all this research, you do learn that the giant python's weakness, its eyes are very small, therefore it relies mostly on its nose. So, if you can throw off its sense of smell, you have a better chance of either killing it or running away.
Do you want the Sprite or no?
No, I got that for you.
It's not Thursday. It's caffeine day.
Well, then I have failed you.
It's okay. I'll still drink it.
Okay,
But it's Friday.
you don't have to drink it. You can drink something with caffeine in it. I'm just, you know.
I appreciate it. If you wanted it.
All right. And with that, your guys' night after much adventure has come to an end.
Yay.
And for those of you who want to know what Tristan Max has talked about, it is in the RP chat from forever ago.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Did not
What are
get
you doing?
around to reading that chat, so.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh!
All right, who is waking up first?
I feel like Sakura would wake up pretty early at that point because she slept first and is a bird. And birds wake up with
Excellent.
the sun.
Excellent. Sakura,
Oh,
so
no.
you wake up to see most of your party still fast asleep. And of course, your almost friend, assassin, is... Well, although you can't see them, you're sure they're around somewhere. What do you do?
It's pretty early. I think first she's probably going to try and do what she can without being able to reach like the very back feathers of her own wings to try and just kind of settle them and sort of partially pre them with the new care kit, and then eventually when she has a chance she'll have Maxis like help her fix the rest of them, and then depending on how bright it looks outside, I have to roll whether or not she feels like she is willing and able enough to go and get or like order breakfast for everybody to like. I gotta roll for that because it's either that or she's gonna go and perch on the tree branch with the morning sun. So it's one or the other. I just need to figure out if she's got the guts. What am I rolling? I think that's probably a wisdom for me. Okay, I mean that's not bad. So I think she'll take a short, like, trip downstairs, not to bring food up immediately, but just to see if, like, she can come back in, like, an hour to pick up food. Because she's like, they're gonna probably be asleep a little longer. I don't want to force wake them up with food.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you get down there, as per usual, between the dim and the bright shift, there is that awkward like rush of the people going home and getting dinner, and the people waking up and getting breakfast.
Oh God, right. I forgot
Although
about
it is
that.
not as chaotic as the first few times that you've been in this tavern, there's no fights breaking out. It is
That's good.
quite busy. You can go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can find either Ember or someone else taking orders, or
Okay.
somebody else.
No, I only rolled a 9. So I sit there staring for a few minutes, realize how busy it is and how scary the people are to be so busy and loud, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go back upstairs.
Before you do though, as you turn to be like, nope, I can't do this, you do feel someone just reach out and like touch your shoulder as if to get your attention.
Probably like a slight instinctive like fluff of feathers as she turns around. Cause she's like, I don't know anyone in this room, and none of my party are with me, so who's touching me? But also just, you know, so she'll
Instinct.
turn, yeah, react.
Luckily, it is someone that you know, and as Trish just goes, whoa, sorry.
And she kind of shakes her head and like, you don't have to be sorry. It wasn't a big deal.
They nod to the door going outside the tavern and just goes, can we go for a walk?
She kind of like glances back.
I should probably at least leave a note. I didn't tell anyone where I was going because they were kind of sleeping, so,
Right.
And she kind of just like back upstairs really quickly, but then really quietly, like trying to open the door so that she can just like leave a note like, walking with Trist. Don't panic.
All right. Go ahead and roll stealth.
Oh God.
Anyone else who wants to hear her come in can roll perception with disadvantage as both of you are sleeping. And Koana, you don't get to because you're in a different building entirely.
7.
I rolled 2 natural ones for a 7.
Both
I
of you are
rolled
dead in the
worse
world.
than both of you. My stealth was a 5.
It's those
Okay.
ears,
Somehow.
man. It's the ears.
Somehow. You
It's the
still
cat
hear
ears and
me.
the bunny ears.
The ears
So-
twitch.
You begin to open this door. And you're doing so good. It's so quiet. They're sleeping so hard, you're sure that they won't wake up. But the door just lets out a nice long and considering that you had a very traumatizing day with doors the other day, both of your companions are stirred from their restful slumber.
Visibly, like, do I see them moving?
I don't know, that's up to them.
If you heard
Oh,
the
yeah.
door creak, would you be up and staring at it?
Yeah.
Not jolting, but definitely like head raised, ears just flop down as the extra weight. He's not focused on keeping them upright, but like
Rue's like halfway out of bed.
She tries to like be like, "No,
sorry, sorry, I just I was gonna leave a note, and I'm just going for a walk with Trist. I
Who
didn't
kind of stretches.
want you to worry.
Rue stretches and then looks at her and goes, "You said you're going with Trist? Sounds like a good plan. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for
Merci.
thinking to leave a note."
You can go back to sleep.
Merci.
And then she kind of just closes the door and backs out again. But when she
Bonjour,
comes back
Naru.
downstairs, yeah. Guys can do a little conversation before I head back to Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a very long
Bonjour.
night, I'm sure.
Bonjour, Naru. How did
Morning,
you sleep?
ears.
How did you sleep?
Honestly, I have kind of a headache because all that reading last night. I'm not used to concentrating on so many words and letters for that long.
That is fair. That is fair. Oh, you were well asleep with the book halfway off the bed, so I placed it on the side. Did you find anything interesting in your studies?
Yeah, actually, when I was flipping through, I saw something about herringons and how they hunt the giant pythons, and I thought
Yes.
that would be a really cool place to start. So I did some research on that.
Oui, what did you find out? Let me see how accurate it is.
So according to the book, herringons will hunt in parties, and that's kind of like my tribe. So
Correct.
that made sense to me. The way that they hunt is pretty interesting because it's almost from what I'm understanding, it's almost like they allow themselves to be caught. So then they slip out, and it's like a little trick, and they trick the pythons.
Oui.
Is that how y'all do it?
It is actually. You don't want to be the one that gets chosen to be caught. It is not a good situation, but to be in. But it is absolutely the best way to guarantee capture. I remember the hunting parties would draw straws or blades of grass, whichever one was the smallest would have to be the prey, as one might. He pauses after saying that and just.
Well, that sure sounds rough.
I'm sure it was.
Yep.
Do you want food?
I was gonna go downstairs and grab some coffee.
Perfect. Let's go get some food.
All right.
Absolutely. And he quickly changes topics and leaves. Like, puts on clothes, leaves.
I said the word! I said the word! Fuck!
He said the word.
Oh.
Rue is not gonna pick up on that.
No, that's fair.
All right. Meanwhile, Socorro, you get back downstairs. Trist is exactly where you left them. As I figured, moving would probably make you feel like you got abandoned or something. And
Rude.
they nod back towards the door and sort of like lead the way through the crowd. As you guys exit, they just kind of seem to pick like a random direction. Obviously, they have not been to town as very long, and they're awfully quiet while you
Perfect.
two walk.
That gives me plenty opportunity to do nothing but fidget.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, without actively trying to ask any questions, I feel like she's trying to figure out why are we going for a walk and where are we going?
You guys get a good ways away from the tavern to the point where you really can't like smell the breakfast and dinner food that normally drifts on the wind. When they finally stop and they turn to you, and it's kind of when you realize why they've been so quiet, is because they themselves look a little bit flustered, like they're not entirely sure how to say anything to you. And they just goes, look, you can't do that anymore.
Try to order breakfast?
No, no, God, no. Please try to order breakfast. That's important. 11 always said that's the most important meal of the day. Not that that matters right now. No, what you did back at the door when we were fighting the dragons. You can't do that anymore.
But people were getting hurt. If I don't help with the fighting, then what am I supposed to do?
No, I mean, fighting's good. Everyone has to learn to fight eventually. I mean, when you hurt yourself to help me, you can't do that anymore.
I didn't do it on purpose. I don't think I did it on purpose. I just got scared and I wanted to help. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I guess it's one thing if you're trying to, help your friends or, yourself, but you can't be sacrificing yourself for me. Okay? It's not okay.
But why are you any different than the others? You're part of the party, at least for now. You're part of the party. You kept Max safe and you brought him here. Why wouldn't I want you safe too?
I'm saying that you don't want me safe. But there's a difference between like healing and hurting yourself to heal. And I know that you and Maxis are like siblings, and you and Rue seem to got an interesting sort of bond. But like, you don't know me, and you don't know me anything. And look, I don't want to see you getting hurt trying to help me anymore. Okay, I can't do it.
I can try. I mean, I've never hurt myself like that. I wasn't aware I could do that until then, so I'll try to do better next time.
Okay then. You will pat your shoulder gently and you just good talk.
Okay.
And she's also desperately trying not to make it obvious that she feels so fucking guilty, and she's trying to keep Triss alive because she couldn't keep Raven alive.
Can Triss roll insight on that?
If they want to, I'm also gonna try.
I'm gonna roll at a
deception.
disadvantage because they're awkward as fuck.
Okay, cool.
Well, that was 11 on the die both times, so 14.
Okay, how's my deception?
Try.
Meets it! Fuck! I rolled the same.
Beats it.
All right. So they'll kind of stare at you.
Mild bit of guilt.
But I'm still gonna he's still gonna take the guilt wrong anyway, so it's fine. But they'll be like, look, no, you're not in trouble. You don't have to feel bad or guilty. Okay? Accidents happen all the time.
Thank you, then, I guess.
And now she's even more confused. Because this felt very much like a reprimand. This is not a reprimand. I'm not getting in trouble. How is that not? If somebody pulls me away. She's like, any time that I got pulled away by myself to be reprimanded, it was always because I made a mistake. So this is confusing.
Yeah. Okay, good. Glad we're on the same page then. Food. That's right. You were getting breakfast. Let's go do that. And they will start walking back to the tavern.
She'll follow behind, not as like curious about where they're going now, because they didn't actually go anywhere in particular. And I think she just kind of starts playing with her non-bladed fan again. It's like a stimmy.
All right. I'm sure breakfast is had. Is there any conversations that you guys would like to have over breakfast?
Nah, Max's is pretty quiet.
I feel like we all just went through some crazy shit. We're like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
He's
How do
like, he ordered food, didn't remember what he ordered. It was a very quick,
no.
like, that. And then when it came, he got it and it's just been kind of like looking at it. And then every once in a while, he'll grab his water and take a drink.
Excellent.
Drew's had like 3 cups of coffee, trying to get rid of his headache. So we all know that works.
Maxis, has Socorro seen Maxis kind of like get that sort of despondent, dissociative, I'm not gonna eat thing before?
I don't think so. Because this came from, like, he was talking about, like, one thing very casually about where he grew up, and then he said a word that just immediately threw him back into the position that you would have just always seen him in. And so now he's like,
So this is just
difference.
like a new distraction.
Yeah. So he's just like...
Fantastic. So, as this entire party is awkward, Ember is going to walk up to your table, glance at the multiple mugs of coffee, but no food. Like sipping on water, but no food. Socorro, have you eaten? Do you eat?
I mean, she probably would have been coming in with Trist, and unless Trist took off before they actually entered the establishment. And if it was still just as busy, she probably would have had a really hard time trying to force herself to go and find somebody who would be able to do the food thing. So that kind of depends on whether Trist stayed next to her the whole time or took off. Because I feel like Trist would
stayed
walk
with
them.
you.
Okay. Then we probably would have ordered something because Trist knew that Socorro was there for food. Before they left.
Yeah, they suck at words and emotions, but they'll make sure that you eat.
Yeah.
So she looks at between mostly Rue and Maxis and just goes, "Something wrong with my cooking this morning?"
Please, Ember, not so loud.
What's going on with you?
Got a book hangover.
Is there any kind of alcohol that I'm not aware of?
I wish it was. He's just gonna like flop his head down onto the table.
Can
I get some toast?
Gently back. Yes, honey, you can get some toast and
maybe a couple of eggs.
Absolutely, hon. And I'll see if I got some aspirin in the back.
You're a saint.
I know. And then she can look at Maxis and be like, "And what's wrong with you today?"
Well, bonjour, November. Nothing.
Something wrong with my cooking?
No, ma'am.
Something wrong with your stomach?
No, ma'am. And
Then I
he...
suggest you eat.
Of course. Of course. I apologize for the rudeness.
Don't apologize to me, sugar. You just apologize to your poor aching body. And then she'll spin on her toes and she goes, don't worry, Rue, I'll get you something that will dry up the book hangover. It's always the classic
Appreciate it.
Book hangover.
So she does leave for a time and come back with your eggs and your toast, Rue. And a glass of water. Koana, you, I'm assuming, eventually wake up. Probably early because it's Koana. Do you just start studying immediately?
I mean, he probably has just with his family. But then yeah, he's probably just going as soon as he's done with breakfast. If the family's done. Depends on how early. He might do an hour of like exercises and warm up. But otherwise, yeah, he's like going right into studying.
Alright then.
Researching where they're going and all that fun jazz.
Alright, we'll do your questions next, but you didn't post them in the homework channel, so I'm gonna be winging it.
He's just looking for basic information of yep, brain died. It's fine. Best routes to get to known villages in Limnaram. If any of the plethora of writings from Ren Exarch, if there's easy or suggested ways to get to the Feywilds, specifically the Season Court.
Okay. For Hilmram, you end up reading mostly just merchant logs, which makes sense. They're the ones that travel the most. You do know that there is a well-traveled merchant road that is the safest as far as soul suckers go. But it's kind of heavily... Well, there's lots of highway robberies, we'll say. There's another side road that avoids the highway robberies, but it kind of takes you through multiple ghost towns where you are likely to run into some white soul-sucking monsters. But when you get to Hilmram, there is really no path or roads. You need a well-versed guide to get through those. As far as the Feywild, well, Ren's Exarchs mentions roads and landmarks that you've never seen. In fact, you look at your maps and they're not on the maps. One thing that is very helpful is once you enter the Feygrounds, you'll likely walk in a circle forever, unless you can convince some very eager pixies to help you. Alright, the rest of ya. You finish up breakfast? Do you head to the preservatory, or do you do something different?
Yeah.
That was the plan. Originally, we'll do more research in
Alright.
the morning.
That was the goal, right?
I think
So, you guys take a little bit to eat breakfast. And you head over to the preservatory where you find Koana already knee-deep in books. Socorro, do you end up researching anything this time around?
No, she's not looking for anything in specific. I think mostly because she's like, they probably got it handled, and I may be able to speak pretty well in different languages, but I don't think that she actively was taught reading because it was usually not very necessary to dance or perform. Aside from
Fair
being able
enough.
to read the rudimentary, things on scripts or stage directions. But she will wander this time because she's not falling asleep at the chair. Because she's never been in a place quite like this before. And
All
been
right.
present enough to notice.
Maxis, how
Yeah.
many questions did you submit?
I sent you 3.
All right, roll a d3.
That's 3.
All right, so you get answers to all 3 of your questions.
Sick.
And of course, I only wrote out 2. Hang on.
That's fair.
Back to
What's the 2?
homework. Hang on, I got this. If I didn't write out answers, it was because the other one was like so obvious. And then, to find the location tied to the stone. Okay,
Mhm.
I see. That's why, because your answers, 2 of them. So, in your research of the area, you wanted to know about certain things to look out for. Monsters, if you will, that are
Mhm.
not Soul Sucker related. You do find information about not the pythons, but something called seaweed serpents. They lurk in the deep swamp waters, and while you're crossing, are likely to drag you under.
Does it say anything in there about like how to deal with them? Like if they're weak to anything, if like they try to drag you under, like can you cut them or something like that?
You can cut them, much like seaweed. And you do see one passage, it's like a side note, saying that electricity is very effective, but will also fry you.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. The most helpful research is something you find a book called The Legend of the Fire Goddess. In this book, it details a story about the lands slowly freezing over, becoming still, barren. And her and the god of nature warred about this, as the nature god thought, leave nature as it is. It's going to change, it's going to grow, it's the circle of life. But the fire goddess saw many people dying. So, instead, she gifted them a part of her essence, a fire crystal, if you will, that melted away the barren lands and allowed crops to grow once more. In thanks, these people built a massive temple to her, promising to worship her forever. But the problem was the nature god grew jealous. Instead, selected people of his own to protect. And in return, they worshipped him. As such, these 2 peoples became at odds with one another, thinking their way was the only correct way.
Does it say anything about where this temple might be?
Somewhere in Hilmram. But if you
Okay.
recall, Ren said, not Ren, blah, blah, blah,
True.
Rue. So I went to the original Rin and then tried to correct it, but then corrected it incorrectly.
I corrected my correction incorrectly.
Rue said that the fire crystals with his tribe. So if you can find the area where his tribe is, you can start searching for a temple.
Sick. Cool.
All right. Does anyone have anything else that they would like to do while in the library?
Can Rue look at pictures of edible fruits?
Absolutely.
Cool.
As such, you get advantage on all your nature checks when scavenging for fruit.
Woo!
Nice.
That's such a specific thing.
No, Sakura's just walking through the aisles, the stacks, I don't know, whatever you call bookshelves in a place with lots of books.
The library?
And anytime that something, like, looks really neat or, like, I don't know, fancy or just interesting, she'll probably pull it out just to see, like, maybe there's something that she'll, like, notice or, like, recognize in terms of just, like, I have very, very basic reading skills. I would read slower than Rue, but I can read a title.
Roll a d100.
Ooh, a 100. Let's go.
I'm just gonna grab a pencil real quick. It's over there.
91.
Okay. So, you find a book, and you're not able to read through it, but the cover is really pretty. It's black, with many white speckles across, almost looking like they glow, but they're not. But it looks like it on the page. And it's entitled The Last Star. You can check out this one if you choose to want to read it, or whatever is inside.
You know what? Why not? I can read the title, and it's very pretty, and, I like stars now that I know what well, I mean, we don't really get to see stars here, so that is Do I know what a star, like an actual star is?
No, you don't.
We've
Never
never seen them.
So that is why it's extra intriguing, because it's like, what the fuck is a star? Internally.
You can take it as, like, a celebrity.
Well, and that's
type
the
of
thing,
star.
like, that's
You'd be
probably the
familiar with
first thing that
term.
she thought, is like, by star, I'm the starring role of this show. I am, the lead.
I was gonna say,
thing.
you would have been a star. Like,
Maybe it's me! So I think that's why she's like, it doesn't look theatrical or circusy, so I think that's why it's like it's pretty, but it's still a simple, like,
Yes,
cover
it's very understated.
for something that should be about somebody famous or, like, performery or idolic. So yeah, I think she'll kind of wander with that in hand.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to do?
Rue is going to ask Koana if... Never mind.
You begin to walk up to Koana just to turn around and walk away.
You realize that you'd have to ask Koana a question to ask Koana a question.
Koana is... It's valid. Koana is going to look up how to get help from Pixie.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Investigation.
Yep,
I
you're
cannot
investigating on a book.
Need investigation. The birthday D20 is another roll.
Yes,
So
it is.
I fucking hope it's better than the 5 I just rolled. It is 17.
Okay.
Yay.
So, you find yet another book written by frickin' Ren Exarch.
Perfect.
But-
This guy seems to be an expert. I will
He
take
is an expert. But this one seems to be written almost in like a journal-y format. It looks like it's like written from like earlier in his time at the Feywilds. Maybe before he thought to himself, I should write research books about this place.
Right?
And it pages upon pages of angry rants about how he arguably is the most intelligent being in the universe. And yet he has been walking in circles for 5 days.
This guy sounds like he sucks.
Guy sounds like a freaking nerd.
Nerd.
Nerd!
Nerd alert.
You read about how these pixies continue to play pranks and to challenge him to riddle quests, which he knew better than that, because if he failed one, he was going to be cursed by them forever. And although he's pretty sure he could handle it, they make him nervous. But eventually, the writings soften, almost sounding amused. And then there's a nice long page detailing that pixies are practically children. They want attention. They want to play games. The trick is making sure you win the game without being roped into another. Most of the time, it's all pixies want something. And if you can give it to them and strike a deal, well, they'll let you through the Feygrounds in peace. In fact, they might be a little helpful. And then in big red letters, it says, do not do their chores. All right. Anything else?
He is going to take that journal into this one. He could like kidnap from the preservatory and
You live here.
sweet. He's gonna kidnap that one. He's gonna add that to his. He's gonna keep that one on him.
This
All
one
right.
in particular.
I was gonna say this was probably in the probably don't let anyone check this out, but you're like, yeah, you got a little bit of leeway.
I do my good due diligence.
All right.
Doesn't really count if
In
it's me.
your fast track through these 5 days, what all do you gather? And yes, I will be writing them down as you go. If you forget it, you don't have it.
Oh,
Are we
God.
taking 5 days to get things? Cool.
Gather
You said
stuff?
that you are going to take 5 days to prepare. So
I mean,
I said a
yeah,
few
we're going to
days.
go on a
These 5
really
days.
long journey.
I never specified how many days.
I figured a week, man.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Anyways,
So let's see if you add. So it's the 29th plus 1, and we get the 30th. Can someone do math for me? My brain doesn't.
It's the 4th.
Thank you.
And say you did all of the hard math.
I know, but I
I was
can't
gonna say
count.
unless there's 31 days, in which case it's the 3rd.
There's not.
Yeah, so it's-
today's the 2nd. In game, we're on the 2nd.
Oh, then yeah, it's absolutely the 6th. 7th.
Okay, we
7th.
will edit that.
I'm glad I'm not the one trying to math.
I just went off of Ashley being like,
Well, if
30,
it says it's the
29
29th, and
plus
then it
1.
didn't get updated anywhere else.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yep, it is a me problem, but you all know that I'm like this.
And
It's
also,
been-
if it's a her,
it's been-
if it's an Ashley problem, it becomes an us problem if we don't know the date.
But also,
Yeah,
no,
it's been September
that's so
1st for like 3
I was
sessions.
just making sure that
So-
you were paying attention.
No, that's
Oh
so
yeah,
fair.
I'm testing you.
Here's the
I've been
thing.
testing you.
When Ashley said the 29th, I was not looking at my notes, which clearly states the 2nd. So I was like, yeah,
So it
it's
was your
the
fault.
4th then.
I didn't even know what we
Absolutely,
were
it's my
talking
fault.
about when Ashley said the 20th, and I went over her like, what are we talking about? What are we doing?
See, I was kind of the same. I was like, no, it's the 23rd.
Me too! I was like, that's not, no!
Good.
Why
I'm
are
the
we
only
gonna
one who was
take a
thinking
wrong
IRL
date?
date.
Okay, someone can tell me the month. I will give you an inspiration point
September.
right now. Thank you. You can go ahead and have another inspiration point.
Yay!
Be like, hey, pay attention.
So you're asking us what we gather?
Yep.
For
You
the
have the things
trek?
that are in your bag, and then I'm going to make a party bag. And if it's not in any of your individual bags, and it's not in the party bag, you go, well, we would have. I would have been like, nope. So this is your only chance that you get.
Okay. Then, if that's the case, do I tell you the things that I'm gathering?
Yes.
Okay. Big bag of sunflower seeds. I'm talking like a sack of sunflower seeds. Like, this thing is
Fucking gross you are.
so full of sunflower seeds. Second thing that I am getting, is there like wood carver's tools anywhere here?
Yeah. You want to know who'd have some?
Who?
Atlas.
Atlas.
I instead go to Kawana and ask Kawana,
Kawana,
can
go,
you
go get some, yeah.
can you get me a set of wood carver's tools?
Yep.
And then if Kawana says you need to go talk to Atlas,
No, he doesn't.
Maxis doesn't get wood carver's tools.
He'll get
Aw.
Rue can also offer to get the woodcarver's tools because Rue does want to ask Atlas for some more fun weapons.
Ooh, make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
Because you ain't threatening this guy.
No.
If you say that to
Ooh.
Maxis will
If-
also be like, if there's anything good,
Da-da-da.
If Simone goes with
23.
Rue. Oh, no, never
23.
mind. You don't need my help.
23.
You're good.
Okay. I'm gonna message you. the thing that you can do.
Woo!
Where is the rude chat?
Counter.
Where to go? I've lost it. Hang on.
And if Atlas has any fun little like compasses or tracking devices, I don't know.
Hang on.
Or a really big magnet.
what?
I don't know. That seems fun.
Like, everything made sense to me. And you're like, or a magnet. If he's got a
You
magnet,
make a
I'm
compass
down.
with a magnet.
I mean, what is a metal detector besides a giant magnet?
That's fair. He does have a compass, and then at your request of a giant magnet, he's like, why?
Or like something that beeps when you get close to a fire crystal. I don't know. Maybe he has something like that.
You know, just casually at his office.
He
You don't
doesn't,
know.
but he recommends that you go see the local enchanter.
Alright.
And the enchanter is able to make you a pendant necklace that glows brighter the closer you get to a fire source. It's not an exact science, but it's better than nothing.
Damn.
And yes, all of
necklaces.
this is on Atlas's die right now because he really wants to get inside that tower.
Question.
Okay.
Question. If there is a enchanter in this town, I'm gonna see if they can enchant my chakrams to return to me, so I can just throw and then they come back without having to worry about angles and making sure things are proper.
I'm gonna give that to you because also
Fuck yeah.
I think it's fucking annoying when I throw a dagger and then the DM goes, well, you never went and got it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Are these chakrams then Magical?
Yes. I feel like I have made a mistake.
Nah, you're good.
Just makes it more viable for more than regular adversaries.
Can I just have a typical traveler's backpack that has like the gear that comes with it, i.e., what is it?
Yes, you all get a typical traveler's bag.
The explorer's pack specifically of like
Because you guys are going
bedroll, mess
exploring.
kick. Cool. Just wanted to make sure before I'm like, yeah, all that shit individually.
I'm trying to decide if over these 5 days at some point Socorro gets just enough either courage or possibly other reasons to go back to the wing care shop to look for dyes, colors.
That nice.
Oh yes,
I can have
do.
yeah. 4 reasons. How important is this to her? I'm gonna try to roll again. This one's just gonna be, I think, a 50-50. Evens I go, odds I chicken out.
I don't know. You're about to meet Max's family. It seems like you'd want to look your best.
What the fuck? I didn't even think about that. Oh god. I don't know how long this journey's gonna take either. Fuck. Well, that means that I have to roll this a second time with advantage from my courage. Or maybe my fear. One or the other. I don't know which one.
The pressure.
Right? Okay, fine. She'll go, but she doesn't want anyone to know she's going. But also she doesn't want the people there to know she's there, but she doesn't want to steal. But she'll go. I'm trying to figure out if she can even if she left on her own, would people what is everybody doing, and is Socorro following people around, or
Wait, do you go to the shop and then start getting nervous?
I think she probably went for a wander while she was thinking and was debating it, was oh shit, if we do run into Max's family, but there's other things that are also going through her mind, and she ends up finding herself in front of the shop, or in visual distance of it, at which point she kind of pauses and is can I even go in there by myself?
Why doesn't Socorro roll a perception check?
Okay. That's a good one. 23.
Nice! Because Socorro is able to watch Trist go in. And they seem a little like they're sneaking around.
I wonder how successful she would be if she tried to crouch in front of the window and just peek her head over the window to see if she can see what they're doing.
You know what? Make a stealth.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You are able to peek through the window. And they are buying dye, but it doesn't look like it's for you.
I wouldn't expect
because
it to
it's
be.
a whole fucking lot of lavender.
I mean, their hair is mostly lavender.
What do you mean by mostly?
Well, Well, I don't know if Socorro saw that part, but didn't for a while their dye grow out enough
Yeah.
that their roots were visible?
That's a whole lot of lavender.
It's gonna be a long journey.
She will wait around the corner until she sees Triss leave.
Okay, yep, they purchase their dye and they walk out of the store
Don't confront anybody.
and they start to walk down the road.
She probably spends another good, 5 to 10 minutes just around the corner trying to convince herself to go in. But she has, at least since then, used the wing care kit enough that she does eventually gain that bit of courage to go in and shuffle carefully and then immediately move behind one of the shelves to peruse. But she's like, this place is crazy. Because she didn't really pay too much attention when they came in last time. It was like, walk in, freeze at the air, scooch you back.
All right, well, yeah, when you first enter, they just smile and nod politely.
She's kind of just like,
Yes, Rue, you can have that. Yay.
she glances away, and kind of just very slowly is walking and wandering through the aisles, trying to figure out what all this stuff is and where she would find what she's looking for, because it was always given to her. Well, done for her.
Yeah, roll an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation time.
That's a very bad mod. Not a negative, but it's a bad mod for me. 12.
It takes you a bit. But you are able to find it all on your own.
She'll probably go for 2 of each color, just in case. But she's definitely not stocking up the way that Trist is. And she only knows to go to the counter because she vaguely remembers it from when they came here last time. And just kind of places it on the counter.
All right. They scan everything through, and she goes, all right, hon. Looks like it's going to be 2 gold.
And I'm pretty sure that we got paid from our thing, so I should have
You
that
did
2 gold.
indeed. Yes.
So I will have that.
I'm getting to that part here in a second. But figure out that you guys do shopping before I give you just a list of random crap.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And then she'll just whisper a quiet thank you, and then sort of shove it in a bag and just scamper out. And then go back around the corner and have a mild breathing problem. As she kind of crouches in a perched position, before she can wander her way back like she was just going out for a walk.
All right.
Yeah.
Hang on. Ashara just sent me a whole list of stuff.
Yeah, Socorro's not going to be too much help with the things we actually need for the journey, because everything they had last time was all from Raven.
Yep.
And wasn't much, and if it wasn't for Rue, she probably wouldn't have made it there.
Well, now, in fairness, you guys they weren't planning on leaving the city.
Nope.
Esmond. Okay. Ashara, roll me a D100, please, for the medical supplies.
What the? 4!
D100?
I had D100!
Okay.
It's
my God.
possible.
That's possible.
You have 4 regular healing potions.
Okay, cool. Can I use inspiration to not have just that few?
Sure, if you say pretty, please.
Pretty please.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
I will say, if we were doing a divine intervention,
go.
that would have been the perfect roll.
That would have been awesome. That would have been pristine.
Right? 46.
Although it still would have failed for
Right.
our current level.
No, we're level 6. It has
Yeah,
to be
it's half.
below
I
your
thought it was-
number.
I thought it was half. Oh, okay.
No, it's just got to be below your current level.
Cool.
Which means you will always have to roll, even at your highest level, below a 20.
Nice.
46, actually.
46. Alright. You will also receive 6 greater healing potions.
Nice.
And 2 supreme healing potions.
Along with the 4 regular.
Along with the 4 regular.
Are you
Because I'm
keeping track
writing
of
in pen like
Perfect.
an idiot.
Good job. Are you keeping track then of the party bag, or should we be keeping a tally?
Yes, I have it right here. Because when you go, well, I would have, and I can look at the list and go, but you didn't. So.
But you didn't.
Oh yeah, I fully intend to. You've all been playing long enough, even Gray. To know the
Yeah.
type of shit.
For the med kit, we'll have like herbs and bandages and stuff like that. Like a basic first aid.
Yes, you will have a first aid kit.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else anybody wants to add before I go to what Atlas throws at your face? Do not believe me.
Does the enchanter do the things for Buona? Did you read the
Wait a
full
minute,
list?
what? I probably
full
did
list.
not. Hang on,
You-
hang on. Let me go back.
Ashley!
What? For the party if possible. Enchanter rings out. Oh, I like that. Yes. But similarly to tracking the fire, it glows brighter the closer you are to each other. It won't
Cool.
ping. It won't give you the location.
Yeah, you kidnapped that. I noticed.
Hmm?
The
Can
idea? You kidnapped the idea?
Yes, I did. Hi, Rue.
But
Hi, can I have a collapsible fishing pole?
Absolutely.
Yay.
Logan, did you have your hand up or were you stretching?
No, this is a thought more so than a stretch. Is there a book that we could take that is like basic survival? Like I know, I think Rue already took the book, or Kawana did, that has like the plants that can be eaten.
Mm-hmm.
that was Rue.
That was Rue. But like, do we have a book that has like general, like, here's some stuff that you could use, like some plants that you could use for medicine, here's some like animal stuff that could be used for different things, like just general survival stuff?
Yes, I will say Rue's book is the survival guide to bogs and forests.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. That works.
So I just have that. That's just
You
part
just
of
got that.
who I am
Yes.
now. Okay.
As the guide, I feel like that fits your personality the best.
I think the only other thing for
Perfect.
Socorro, is, I think she wants to see if there is somebody in town who could make a blade that matches the fan blade she found, so that she can have equal weight on both sides and kind of be able to actually use them.
Yeah,
If she
you know
loses
who
one.
the weaponsmith is in this town?
I don't know.
Atlas. He's
Oh.
gonna use the forge.
Well,
No
see, the thing
way!
is, I don't
That
think that
guy.
she has a problem with Atlas yet. She's awkward
I
around
know.
him, but
I know.
oh yeah.
You
Well, it's my
I'm just being a troll.
okay. I feel like it's because I just have a bad memory. Definitely
can
forgot
come
that
with
we
Rue
were
when he
literally.
goes.
Okay, that works.
Yep. So yeah, he'll make that for you, especially since it's not like enchanted or anything. So
Yeah.
I also
don't
grabbed
think she
4
knows.
pieces of wood, like logs.
A
Appreciate
good
it.
bit of
All
wood.
right. Anything else?
I want to get a
Blade.
latest map, world map.
Yes. Yep, I wrote that down.
Why do I need to
Oh,
take
I showed that in his bag, so.
Hey, Ashara.
Well, yes, I'm just generalized.
Did you just get a bunch of stuff that is really practical?
I did.
I'll read off the
Yay.
list here.
Okay, perfect.
I was gonna go grab it.
I figured that you did.
So on the list so far, we have a big bag of sunflower seeds. We have wood
Check.
carver's tools. We have a
Check.
compass. We have a pendant
Check.
that glows brighter when near fire sources.
Check.
We have 4 traveler's bags, explorer's packs. We have wing dye, 2 of each color. We have 90 feet of rope. We have extra torches, a tinder box, 4 healing potions, 4 greater healing potions, 2 supreme healing potions, a tarp, a first aid kit, tracking rings, a collapsible fishing rod, the latest map, extra blade for Socorro, 4 logs, and rations. Yes,
Did you?
Rue.
So each of the explorers packs have 50 feet of hemp rope. So we have the 90 feet of rope plus all the explorers packs rope. Okay, I
Yes.
don't need any more rope then.
Raise your hand if you want to talk, because I know multiple people tried to talk at once. Shara, since I feel like Logan's pointing.
Did you see that I did request tents, or at least one really big tent that everybody can sleep in?
Yes, I'm getting there. I kept off certain stuff that you're gonna get anyway here in a minute.
Okay.
Logan.
Did you get the magic returning chakrams?
No, but I will now.
Cool.
Good. I think the only maybe one more thing for Socorro is just to find another replacement, like an extra journal and some like ink and stuff, so that she doesn't run out.
Okay.
For her diary. No, for her journaling.
Okay. So now we also have the magic returning chakrams, we have extra blankets, and we have the journals and pens for Socorro. Anything else? Going once. Going twice.
Thinking on the spot, man.
Sold. Okay, you guys are locked in. Luckily, Atlas also thought ahead because, well, he doesn't trust anybody. Why would he trust you? So from
Fair enough.
Atlas, you have 500 gold for your travels.
I mean,
You
that's not something
have
we could just procure by going to a shop.
poison of an underdark scorpion. So you guys can decide who wants that in their bag. It is dip your weapon in this poison as a bonus action. You must hit the target. Target must make a Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 2 rounds, meaning everything has advantage on hitting it and will automatically crit when they do. Who wants it?
One of the rogues.
Rue, would you like this?
Yeah,
Yeah? Okay.
I'll take it.
Nice.
Alright, hang on. Please bear with me while I copy and paste things. Alright.
You are so good. No worries.
We also have a flask of never-ending water. It's a flask of water, and it never runs out. But it's only water. It's not the liquid one that you guys had last campaign.
Unlimited
Aw.
eggs and broth.
That's not liquid. Oh my god, it's a such.
There was a
It's
whole
such a
discussion
good
of whether or
thing.
not raw eggs, but it was not the
Oh.
yolk,
Raw
it was
eggs
just
are
the white
liquid.
part.
I'm aware that was a discussion because Ash messaged me and was like, "Hey, random question. Do you think this?" And I was like, "Absolutely fucking not." And then you're like, "That's what my players talk about for 2 hours." And I was like, "That makes sense." And also, absolutely not.
We won that discussion.
We did.
Yes, you did. You have a cell stone. A cell stone that is directly to Atlas. No one has his number. This is a privilege. Do not abuse it. Who would like that? Who wants to be in charge of the cell stone?
Oh, did somebody
just-
say they're taking the water? So I'll
That
take the
should be
water.
Ashara, because Ashara would be the most
Well, I
likely
put
to
the
communicate
never-ending
with
water
Atlas.
in the group bag.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, no, because Koana
No,
has.
we'll divvy it up because there's only one. You're right. You're
Okay.
right there.
I'll take the water then.
Okay.
Koana already has a soul stone, so
This one's the only cell stone that has Atlas's number programmed into it, and he's
Okay.
not giving out his number.
cool. Just wanted
It's
to
that's why it's a specific stone.
call it Atlas's soul stone while I shove it in my bag.
Alright, so the flask of never-ending water is going to. Also, I am cutting these out of the list, so if you forget that you have it, I'm not reminding you. But I believe in you guys. You'll be fine.
Will you send me the description of the poison that I have? Oh, you already did.
Yep.
Never mind.
Look
Ignore
in your
me.
chat. Yep,
Don't
you're fine.
don't listen to my words. My words are stupid.
No, your words are not stupid. Your words are beautiful, and we love them.
Poop.
Gorgeous.
Yep.
You expect me not to do that?
We have the teleportation circle home. A pre-cast spell scroll of teleportation circle. In an emergency, draw the circle on the ground and it will transport you back to Atlas's shop. Who would like that?
Koana.
Sounds like some magical bullshit.
Because it's a pre-cast one, so technically anybody can cast it. That way, if Kawana's unconscious, you guys know that you guys can.
Grab it from Koana's bag and do the thing.
You are given 5 tents, one for each of you. 5 bedrolls, one for each of you.
Bedrolls do come in the Explorer's Pack.
Mhm.
Okay, then you do not need those. You can cross those on out. And then he also reminds you, and don't forget to stop by the barn and pick up your mount.
What?
A
mount?
mount.
A mount.
Wasn't expecting that. But okay.
Why not?
I hope it's a water dog from Avatar: The Last
Be-
Airbender.
Because Sakura's
dog
not
wizard?
used to it.
Is there are the mounts specific to traveling in the swamps?
The mounts are specific to traveling. Well, they're gonna do best crossing the desert, but they're good for any kind of environment. I should say they're average in every kind of environment. But
Sounds
that also
familiar.
is gonna mean that they don't suck in all the environments. Or you can walk. It ain't no skin off my back.
Very bien. Very bien. Where is the barn?
The barn, and he will gesture towards the gates.
By the gates, okay.
Merci. Merci. And if there's nothing else, Axis walks the fuck out.
All right.
Koana,
Yes, go on.
You said that Atlas had weapons for us.
He had weapons for the one that rolled the persuasion.
Special weapons, at least.
Special weapons. Because I don't know if Koana would ask for it, but you had made a crystal dagger last campaign that allowed him to have some fucking spell. Back pocket.
Yeah, that crystal dagger it's dropped in the world for you to find. Don't you worry
Perfect.
about it.
Cool. I was just saying because
Because
Atlas
you
gave
didn't
it
bring
to him
a.
last
I don't
time.
think you didn't bring a crystal back this last time.
Atlas was down there with us, so
Yep, he's busy. Very busy man.
I was just checking to see.
Yeah,
Don't mind
I
me.
mean, like, would Koana ask for something?
No, that's why I was double checking to make sure that he didn't just get handed something. Because that's what happened last time. That's kind of neat what happened now until he realizes he needs something more. Because he's a little thick like that, and it's fine.
Fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine.
You know what? It's gonna teach him to ask for help when he needs it.
Right? Right?
Yep. It's a life lesson, Ashara.
Why are you telling me? I'm aware. It's a life lesson for him. He needs to learn
so
eventually.
sad and disappointed, and it
I
turned
am
my
not.
DM heart.
It is literally just the lighting, and I'm tired. That is all you're seeing. There's no disappointment. There's no upset. I'm just over here going like just double checking all my shit. We're good.
All right. So
Stables.
you all head to the barn, or just Maxis?
I'm
I'll
heading to
follow
the barn.
Maxis.
Triss coming with us.
Yes, they are.
Cool. Then you need to make sure that they have backpack and bedroll too.
Don't worry, I got them.
Cool. Yeah.
I got them under control.
They weren't
They're
done.
fine.
There were a bunch of 4s, not a lot of 5s.
Because they're gonna forget to tell you half the things that they picked up anyway, so it's fine.
I fucking love them.
Mm-hmm. Rachel, are you okay?
Yeah. Just,
Okay.
leaning on my
sorry.
hand a little bit. I'm when I'm not
Oh,
actively
I
involved,
see.
I'm also
I
arting.
see. Okay, you just look like you had like the worst migraine, and I was like, oh no.
Nope, I was concentrating really hard because I'm trying to draw tattoos on a character, but I forgot how hard it is to do detail like that. And now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, now every time I make art of this character, I'm gonna have to remember these tattoos and then figure out how they're gonna look.
You could do a flat version of the tattoo, like laid out, and then just copy paste
don't
it and
worry.
warp it.
I have been. That doesn't help too much.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because of
See,
how
without my
many she
brain.
has.
But yeah.
Because of how many she has. But it's okay. I'm getting there. It just, I thought I'd be done last week and the week before, but I kept.
You're good.
So we're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
you're good.
How dare you? All right. So as you all approach the barns are. They're not like a barnyard. It looks like they are well-kept stables by the gates for comings and goings of people. And instead of hearing, the telltale signs of hooves or whinnies or anything that seems like something that you would ride, instead you hear clucking. And as you walk in, you see Myth.
The birdies. It's the birdies.
It's what are their names again?
They're chocobos.
Chocobos.
They're chickens.
They are chickens.
Look at all those chickens.
You also see a very tall, like, gray furbog tending to the stalls.
That's
Bonjour.
something I probably haven't seen before.
He turns and he is very tall. Maybe not as tall as a Goliath, but fairly tall. And he nods and he puts his pitchfork to the side and offers you a hand, Maxis, as you're the one that spoke. And he goes, hello. You must be Atlas's friends. I'm Vinyer Featherflyer.
Vinyer?
Vinyer. V-I-N. Then year, as in the year.
One word?
Yep.
Cool. And then...
I just realized, as a bird, I'm a bird. I feel very, very weird about this now.
Oh yeah.
It's like a goofy Pluto situation.
Yeah. I'll just fly. It's fine.
Bonjour, monsieur. We were told to get some mounts from Atlas back here.
Yep. I got him right back here. And he takes you through the barn to like this back paddock, into a circular-looking, very large pen, where there is 5 of these birds, all saddled up. Simply saddled, mind you, nothing too fancy. But they're there, and it seems like they're already packed with the feed that they need. He goes, figured I'd start you off in something small, just in case, well, they throw you off.
I do appreciate that. I am going to be completely. How do you ride one of these things?
Well, it's not too different than riding a horse, except for there's no front legs.
I feel like that's very different.
That's not so different. You just put one foot in the stirrup, you swing over, and you try not to fall off.
Question.
Yeah.
Is this the first time I'm seeing one of these?
Yes.
Good, because that
Absolutely.
means it's also the first time I'm seeing that.
Yeah. Okay.
Kawana and Rue, you can both. Well, Kawana, you've obviously seen these before as you live here. But Rue, you can roll for it.
Yeah, let's see.
Question is though, has Koana ever
15.
ridden one?
15. Kawana, roll history. Rue, you have in fact seen these. They've been on a couple of merchants that you've guided through. And you rode on the back of, like, someone's before. So, like, with somebody else. And you remember it being, you know, slightly uncomfortable, a little bit wonky, but, you know, versus where sand travel would normally take 2 weeks, it took half the time.
16.
16. Kawana, you have ridden these with Valor supervision. So, Rue and Kawana, when you have to roll to see if you can stay on these things, you guys will be able to roll with advantage.
Sweet.
Sorry, Socorro and Maxis, you guys are on your own.
That's okay. If it throws
Fair.
me, I'll just
Fair.
fly.
That's fair. But you all get to name your chocobos. And who wants to go first?
Who will go first?
All right, Rue.
Mm.
Rue, you approach one of the chocobos. They all look the same, but this one seems to get you. Go
The
ahead and
loner
roll
chocobo.
the loner chocobo. Yeah, it was kind of standing back in the corner away from the other chocobos. Go ahead and roll animal handling for me.
Okay.
I'm a no happening.
15.
Okay.
The number of the
So-
day.
You swing into the saddle, and for a minute, it is kind of hard to keep your balance because, you know, you feel like you're about to fall forward because, again, there's none of those front legs like with a horse. And it's a little awkward to, like, get your feet in the stirrup But all in all, like, when you kick it gently, you know, it just, it walks, it follows directions with the reins perfectly fine, especially with, Vinir, guiding you on how to, you know, steer with your feet and steer with your hands. Who's next?
These
Go
might
ahead,
be
go next.
birds, but would they have the same, like, sort of language as the goose did? Or are these technically not the same sort of species?
These are not the same species at all. One's a goose, these are chocobos.
Okay. So I'm going to assume that I can't use bird language in the way that I did with the goose to try and talk to it.
No, because these are magical birds.
Cool. Then that changes how I will go about. So you can go first, Kawana.
Cute.
Alright, Kawana. You seem to try to find the chocobo that seems to get you. Maybe a little too responsible. Seems like if it could, it would read books.
Okay.
Seems to be pretty smart. You know, you can't explain it. It's just the look it has in its eyes. Go ahead and roll your animal handling.
Is that the one at advantage?
Yep.
16.
All right. I'm familiar with Ruin. Like you would initially like swing up, and you take a second for you to like find a comfortable way to sit. But you do remember Valor like coaching you through like keeping your heels down and like neck reining with the chocobos and grabbing the horn if you needed it. And you're able to follow Rue around the round pen pretty easily. Maxis or Socorro, do either of you want to go next, or are you making Triss do it?
Nah, I'll do it.
All right, go ahead.
So this is with disadvantage or
This is just regular.
Normal.
straight roll? All right, bet.
Just a straight roll.
That's a 10.
So, Maxis, you swing up onto this chocobo, and for a second you thought the chocobo would get you. You know, it looks like it is cautious but daring at the same time, and you swing up into the saddle, and it's almost like you overshot it, like shifted your weight too much, as this is not an acrobatic show. And you kind of tilt so much that the saddle starts to slide a little bit. So you overcompensate and you shift it back. And then the chocobo deciding it doesn't like that feeling so much, stretches itself out and shakes super hard. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
Strength check? Oh, I was really hoping for athletic or
You gotta
acrobatics.
hold on. I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is a 6.
You land on your butt.
That's fair.
Socorro laughs at you.
I know. And he gets up. Not you. Looks at the other two.
Quick. Okay, alright, is everybody okay if we take a quick, like, 5-minute break?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. I'll be right
Welcome.
back.
I'm gonna go use the restroom then.
Got it.
Yes, that's a good idea. Bow break.
Ugh. Bad
For
break.
those who want to use it.
Ah!
I'm going to use it to go and get the ice cream I didn't eat yesterday.
Oh.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Sticky. Bottom's okay though. There we go.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I was like, I would try and speak, but I had a sticky thing in my hand because technically this kind of like leaked a little bit, and so I put it in the freezer because it's a Frosty from Wendy's, and those things are already half liquid when you get them.
But yeah.
Especially if
Already
you're
half
ordering it in and not getting it directly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Welcome back, Gray.
Thanks.
Well,
So, anybody have ideas for the names of their chocobos yet? I've
Welcome back.
Rude to call it chicken nugget.
it's up to you.
If you call it chicken nugget, I will call it chicken tender.
Okay.
And then that way you have nugget, tender.
Mhm.
Shorten it so that they don't always come at the chicken part.
The chicken part.
Mhm.
Chicken, yes, tender. Right. I'm going to name mine Tally, short for Talon, because their talons are bigger than mine.
I did that for one of my chocobos in Final Fantasy XIV, as I called them Tally for short for Talon.
Oh, yay! I'm on the same wavelength as you were the first time you had to... my first time naming it. That's awesome.
No, I've given it absolutely zero thought about what I want to name this thing.
Yeah. Ashara, I don't know if you got to the point in Genshin where you have to rename the Wanderer.
Yeah, I
Right.
kept him as Wanderer.
It took me forever.
Yeah.
And then I
him as
found
Wanderer. I mean, I was tempted to like look up like what hat guy is in like Chinese or something like that, and like put the equivalent in there, shits and giggles. But I just kept him as Wanderer because I liked him going as Wanderer. So it's just like you're Wanderer now forever because I don't need your name to be different.
Yeah. I can't even remember what mine's named, but it meant one website told me it translated into like dreamer or something like that, and I was like, okay, cool, so I named it that, and then I looked it up and like every other website's like, no, it means star child, and I was like, well, that's what it is then.
Yeah.
Also, chicken nugget and chicken tender is hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that. I believe we were making
I was
fun
about
of
to... We were making fun of Maxis, and then Maxis was looking at Sakura like, let's see if you could do any better then, basically.
All right.
So, let's see if Sakura can do any better on her animal handling.
All right, go ahead and roll your animal handling.
They see me rolling.
They handling.
Okay,
Trying to
roll.
handle that chocobo named
Do that again.
Chicken
There
Tender.
we go. I didn't press the button. I just thought I did. 17 plus.
You go chicken
4.
tender, chicken nugget, chicken
Come on,
patty.
wrong.
Fried chicken.
21.
21. Yeah, Sakura, you get on your chocobo with the poise and precision of a princess. And you just ask the chocobo politely, like, hey, can we go this way? And it listens to you, even though it can't understand you.
It's the wings. I tilt my wings just right, and it just follows the direction. I also spend half of the time, instead of, with my feet in the stirrups, just perching on it like an active bird. Actually, it makes it easier for me to ride, because then I'm not sitting on it like a horse galloping, going bop, 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 bop.
Does Sakura have hollow bones?
Yes. Yes, she does.
Okay, there we go.
I'm also nice and light, so it doesn't have to worry about being weighted down too much. It's just the feathers. So then she turns to look back at Maxis, and then smiles even bigger. He's like, I guess I did do better. That's Simi's voice! Fuck!
I'm gonna say, wrong campaign.
Yup. So she says that, but in Sakura's voice.
But in British.
Yes. But in Cockney! Yeah.
Meanwhile, Trist is staring at the remaining chocobo like it's going to take off their hand.
Maybe it will.
Koala, Can Koana
Don't
get
roll
down
on
and then
that
help
one.
them with their chocobo?
Sorry, what was that, Koana?
Can Koana get down and help them with their chocobo?
Yes, you can.
Yay!
So, do you
Koana
go
assist.
get the chocobo and bring it to them? How do you do this?
I didn't think that far.
I want to help. How? I
I don't know. I just want to help.
You can also go up to them and try to encourage them that it's not going to bite them.
Yeah, he'd probably walk up to them, not the chocobo, and ask.
Give me 1 second, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
One Mississippi. Okay.
don't. Continue, Koana.
I was just gonna wait till he came back.
I mean, I was mostly saying it as a joke. It wasn't.
Cool. I was just making sure that was clear across the board.
No, it's okay.
The wind just blew through my window and knocked something off my shelf. Or not
How
my shelf, but
dare.
like my windowsill. But I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think
okay.
it was one of my plants. I think it was something I put up there to prevent the cats from jumping up there.
Ah.
It'll prevent
it
the
fell-
cats from jumping, but it won't prevent other things from knocking it off.
Exactly. And it doesn't prevent the cats from jumping either.
Oh.
I need to like
Fair.
put a screen up or something. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He looks so offended. He's like, I've never jumped up there. It's just the girl cat that does that.
Of course not.
Why ever would you think that?
Mm-hmm.
How dare.
Well, he's a
never done
perfect
nothing
baby man, and she is the devil, so.
I've done nothing wrong ever in my life.
Hey, stop. Come here.
Stop it.
Yeah, come
Get
here.
some help.
Literally.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's here. It's making biscuits.
Aw.
We can take the biscuits on our trip.
Add it to the list.
Making-
It's too late.
The list has been
the
locked.
biscuits. The biscuits that Rika made. Oh my goodness.
This just means if we find more tabaxi, I'm gonna have to name them after all of our cats. You do know this, right?
Oh my god, how fun would that be?
Mm-hmm. Then the biggest assholiest tabaxi ever is gonna be named Indiana.
Yup. They have the most incongruous names. It's like Kiba and Rika, and then Thor, Alphino, Indiana, Inky.
Inky.
Short for very inky.
I call him Inkward.
There could also be a Pipsqueak and Neville if you wanted.
Ooh, we could do that.
Add him to the list.
Neville. We
Neville
will add them to the
Longbottom.
No, literally, I got Neville from the shelter, and they had named him Neville, and I was like, "This, I'm just gonna keep that now."
That's an awesome cat name, though.
list. Yes.
I like it.
And what's the other one? Diablo? Rachel?
Yep. Diablo and Franny.
Diablo
my roommate also used to have a Thor as well.
Nice.
Double Thor.
I am Thor,
Thor
and this is
squared.
my twin brother, Thor
Also Thor.
Jr.
No, it's just also Thor. That way we both
Yeah.
answer, and you'll always get one of us.
Perfectly the
There he
same
is.
person.
The man.
Well, I mean, since this is taking a sec, if we don't want to continue until he's back, just for
Funsies.
Katie wants to have like a mediated conversation with me because apparently I misunderstood one of her the message about the
What?
manhunt thing.
God. They can't. She can't have a conversation without mediation.
But very specifically also said that we can't do it until June because all of the stress has been making it so that she can't prepare her work for the Pride Month. We're like, I'm like,
Rachel,
you chose to have your own business. Like, the reason I am is because I am now going back and I am building an entire file of like literal receipts of things. Because I'm not going into this conversation with the, like, I'm gonna be emotional and I'm gonna let you be emotional, blah, blah. Like, I'm going in, I'm giving facts, and if she doesn't like it, oh well.
Just don't care about your feelings.
And it's not gonna change anything about Dylan at this point, because that ship has long since sailed.
Alright.
So. I'll see if I can salvage anything at all with Katie, but I doubt it. But if I don't give it one try with her, because I haven't really had a single conversation with her since pretty much we built her character at that point, like where it was just the two of us, so.
Good God.
Yeah. And going back through all of like the messages and stuff, first of all, we were terrible to Harrison, and I feel so bad for Harrison and MC when we were back in Papayas.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only from like now the doubt that like what happened before actually happened to him.
With the realization that Dylan was freaking lying about a lot.
Yeah. So then I'm realizing how much of a flying monkey I was for him all those years, and how often he refused or would not do one-on-one conversations without conversing with all of us, making sure that we all had his back, that we all had the words worked out perfectly to his benefit, to the point where we were writing more than he was. Yeah. It was great. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, top tier manipulation.
So. But that's whatever. This is literally the last fuck I'm gonna give at this point. And I don't care what ends up happening in that conversation. Like, I'm not going into it the way that I went into any of our other talks. I'm gonna have facts. I'm gonna have receipts. I have, in fact, 2 recorded conversations from the, like, day or two after that November event, and, Dylan being a fucking idiot. And one from Katie when we were supposed to meet and talk about her character, and then, because of Dylan, it got delayed for 5 hours, because he was mad at her, and she had to make him feel better first, and let him leave for his Christmas party. So, yeah, I've got those 2 pretty much recorded, and I've got a bunch of timestamps. I literally wrote out timestamps, like, throughout the entire videos, just being like, this is when something is said, and this is what it kinda is. Because I don't care if they're mad at me for recording them at this point, either.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought it was for her safety, so if she's mad at it, then I guess you don't want to be safe. You don't want the receipts. But, whatever. It happens.
It happens.
And it's gonna be basically over, and I'm not gonna have to think about it anymore. Whatever happens, it's gone.
Yeah, I think you definitely got to get out from underneath it.
Yeah. Like, if Katie doesn't want to hear anything that I have to say, if it's not being like, oh, I'm so sorry, you're totally right, I've been a terrible person, she can think what she wants, she can be mad at me if she wants, and alright, sayonara.
There's not much else you can do.
We tried. She actively would leave, like, as soon as session was over and not come too early, like, she wanted to actually come and hang out and be at the table with everybody to chat, so that was her choice.
Yeah.
Yep, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Mm-hmm.
Principle also applies to chocobos.
Yeah. You can lead a chocobo to water, but you can't make it swim.
Exactly.
But you can drown it.
If you get a really heavy rock and enough rope, you can drown anything.
That
There
is
you go.
also a true statement.
I've been watching too many of those. I don't know if you guys have ever seen magnet fishing. That's where you
Oh
take
god,
a magnet
yes.
and pull
Love those.
hunks of metal out of the water.
And sometimes they end up with like fucking guns that have been tossed there. I've seen one where they like came out with like 7 bicycles in one go somehow, or like something like that. It was just bicycle,
Magnet fishing is so
bicycle. Shit, another piece of a bicycle? What?
Yeah.
More bicycle? Like, yeah. Yeah. The other thing is, you don't need rope and rocks to drown someone, because you don't even need a lot of water to do it.
True. You can drown someone in 2 inches of water.
Yep.
Probably even less.
Or their own blood. Punch them really hard in the chest. I'm just kidding.
Pneumothorax, let's go! If you puncture a lung,
Exactly. Punch them really hard in the chest. If you puncture a lung, they'll choke on their own blood.
Punch
Yeah.
through their chest.
yeah.
I feel like the actual hole throughout their entire body, however, would be more deadly than... Because they'd be actively breathing
We're not
inside
worried about
and
logistics
outside.
right now, Rachel.
That's true. That's true.
We're talking about drowning.
There is no sign of land. You are coming down with me.
Is that from Epic?
No,
What is-
no, it's from a group or an artist called the Mountain Goats.
Okay. Yep, I know that. Okay.
That's the song that I played that one time, just for that line. You know, the whole song just for that one line. No, I've been listening actually recently a lot to Demi's not most recent album, because their most recent is remastering a bunch of their old stuff, but the one before that, the Holy Fuck album. Because I used a few of those songs in my Every Other Thursday campaign now, where yeah, ex-cult person reformed cultist background, vengeance paladin.
Sun
Oh, I
and
like that.
Moon.
Went to the immediate opposite deity to the cult they were in, was like, alright, you give me power, I will end every single one of the people involved in this cult for you. Let me be your sword. Or your whip, because I use whips, but, you know. I get to be more
I think-
outspoken in that one and silly.
That'll be fun.
And French. I took
French.
Maxis's accent and I used the French accent in that.
Oh.
Hon 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 wee wee baguette.
Oh, no, wee baguette.
I want the very wee baguette, please. Just one wee though.
So you have the wee wee baguette and the titty croissant.
Yes. Yes, we do. Oh man.
Bean, that is my foot. You cannot eat my foot. You can't eat my sock off my foot.
Can he try though?
Oh, he's back.
She certainly thinks
Damn.
so.
Welcome
Okay.
back, sir.
Are you okay?
Everything okay?
Potentially. I will be getting a call back soon. I'm being blackmailed.
Wait,
For money.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
How?
Was talking to somebody that I met, and they took all my pictures from the profile that I had, and then they were like, hey, look at this dick pic that we found. We're going to send it to everybody with your profile pictures. Send me money. And I'm like, No. So I just got off the phone with like a cybersecurity like crew that's like, hey, we've opened up a thing for this. We'll call you back in like a half hour or two.
Oh my god.
Go over
I'm
things. And I was like, sick.
So sorry.
Love that.
Jesus.
So that's why I went silent.
Yeah, no, fair.
I'm-
That's
That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's fair. This is also why I really stand by my rule of absolutely 0 dick pics from anybody.
Hmm.
Because, yeah, don't need that shit out there. So, yeah,
yeah.
that's where I'm at.
Do you want distraction in the form of continuing session, or
Sure.
Would you rather end? Okay.
I was like, it's more so like they will be getting back to me at some point.
Yeah.
I
I'd think that the next call you probably might not be coming back too soon if they have a lot to
Mhm.
give you. So.
probably.
Well, that works
Probably.
out because after the chocobo stuff, where I was gonna send you out, and we definitely do not have enough time for combat. With how
Fair.
much
Fair.
the time combat can take, so we can finish up chocobos and we can call it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Okay with that.
was gonna name my chocobo Flut,
Flip.
because it's
Flut.
from the Jack and Daxter video game, because it's their version of a chocobo.
I love that. Very cute.
A foot.
Yeah. Flut.
Flut.
Like Flutter.
Yep, like Flutter.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Fleetfoot, but with an ut instead.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
was just thinking Fleetfoot, and I was like, a throne of glass.
Yeah. So that was my plan.
All right. I do believe we left off with Trist being terrified of the chocobo. Well, not terrified, but not wanting to
Not
get near
knowing
the
what-
chocobo.
Concerned, TM.
Concerned.
Kawana approaches Trist
May I approach?
as he makes sure his chocobo is staying near the others for the moment. And he approaches Trist and he goes, "You ever ridden one before?
No.
You ever seen one before?
Nope.
Do you know what a chicken is?"
I know what a chicken is. I've
Okay,
never seen a chicken.
cool.
That's
That
alive. I should specify.
yeah.
Not on a plate.
Yeah. Well, that just rolls out everything that I could have used.
Sorry.
Nope, honestly, you're fine. I can hold the bridle for you, and you can approach. Would that help?
What if I hurt its wing trying to get up?
You won't. As long as you mount properly. So, and he walks over to the chocobo. And pets its beak as he grabs the bridle holder thing. Words, terms.
You're
And
correct.
he walks over, holding the chin strap. His fingers in the chin strap. He turns the chocobo so its side is to Tris, and he points to the strap and goes, "As long as you put your foot in that, what you're gonna do is you'll wait till it steadies. It's gonna get used to your weight. And you're gonna put all of your weight on the foot that's in the stirrup, and you're gonna throw your other foot over. And you'll want to do a wide arc so that you got enough clearance over both wings and the back. There's a stirrup on the other side, same exact spot. You don't necessarily have to get it in on the first shot, but know where it's at, because that's where you want to aim your foot."
Right. Okay. And let me roll for them. Oh, Trist, why? They.
Would they have advantage because
Successfully-
Kawana's helping them?
Oh, you are absolutely correct.
Help
Thank
action.
God.
Okay, that one was better.
Yay!
So they go to swing into the chocobo saddle, but the chocobo does try to like walk forward. I don't know if you've ever seen that, where a horse will start walking
Yep.
with like the
Mm-hmm.
and
I've seen
they
it happen to
kind
people
of
who are
like
driving.
freeze for a second, like they're gonna like try to dismount, but Koana, since you're holding it, it can't go anywhere anyway.
Right.
So they are able to get into the saddle and get their foot in the other stirrup, and they take a deep breath and just like, okay, this isn't that bad.
You okay? You good?
Yeah, just not used to going anywhere, not on my own feet.
Valid. But these things will help us cover more ground more quickly. So it's nice to have a few.
Right.
As he spent in the week. And he goes, I'm not the best instructor when it comes to how to guide. So I'll walk your chocobo over so that Vinir can walk you through that. Because I've been taught, but I can teach somebody how to get up. I can't teach somebody how to drive. And so
Fair
he'll
enough.
walk. He'll walk the chocobo over, keeping it controlled as he walks over to where Vineyard is at.
He takes one look at Tristan and just goes, "You're leaning far too far forward, my friend." Which I know I shifted accents, but I can't remember what his first one was anyway. So, and then he looks to you, Maxis, and he goes, "What are you doing on the ground? Get back up on the horse, chocobo."
Get back up on your mount!
Look, they got the call back.
No? Good?
Yeah.
Good.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll let you know when something happens and I have to actually hop off. That was just me checking something.
Okay.
Well, luckily, I just need you to roll another animal handling. We
Let's
aren't going anywhere. if
do
you
it.
Can't roll. You got this.
That is
Oh.
slightly better. That's an 11.
No. Oh.
Slightly better.
Luckily, Vineyard is gonna approach you and he's gonna help you. So why don't you roll again?
Cool. That is 17.
That's so
Hell
much
yeah.
better. All right. So with Vineyard
Hell
like guiding you and like walking you through like how to get yourself situated in the saddle, and like collect the reins so that way you're not like reefing on the chocobo too much. You are able to get up there, and you know what? You're looking pretty good. Not as good as Socorro, but at least up there with Koana.
Sick.
And with that, the party is ready to leave their safe haven of Anamoya, going once more back into the wilderness in the hopes of finding, well, part of a key to a strange door that you don't know where it leads. And we will end here tonight because we got some stuff going on in Arizona. And I'm not
doing my
starting
best.
combat at 8:30 at night.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, y'all.
That's okay.
It's
I mean,
not
this is technically kind of normal time-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it's 8:30. Like, maybe it's like 30 minutes before, but like I said,
Yeah.
we're not finishing combat in 30 minutes as I have story connected to said combat.
Mm.
It's
So-
plot combat, not
Yeah.
combat combat. It's plonbat.
It's Plot
Yeah.
Bat.
Plot bat.
The fact that y'all both did that at the same time.
Pat. We're amazing like that. High five, Rachel.
Our DM style is so similar that we combine the same words almost
Yeah,
identically.
high
No, it's good. And I'm excited because it means that it's the weekend, which means by Monday I will be able to continue to finish your guys' plot from my campaign. That's
I
okay.
know,
No,
it's
don't
fine.
be ashamed. Don't like hide yourself. It's fine.
much.
It's life.
So much time.
Because yeah, I was very excited to give more stuff because there was a lot more for you guys to hear.
I
More
cannot
things
wait.
that are gonna give you minor existential crises as characters.
It's fine.
We'll take it.
Haven't confused
Nova's
Nova
well
enough,
adjusted.
you know?
He's so easily confused. Which is weird considering he has high wisdom and high intelligence. And charisma.
It's gonna be good. So,
Cool.
yeah. Actually, you were away, Maxis, or I say Maxis, when you were on the phone, and I was saying the character that I play on my Thursday campaigns now, I borrowed your inspiration, and I play her with a French accent.
Oh, that is good.
And then we went, oui, baguette.
Oui, baguette. Avalanche.
But yes. Because she's also a little bit more, like, forward and willing to actually tease people and be a normal adult person.
Hell yeah.
Instead of all of my other characters who are not normal adult persons and act like they're way younger because they've been, you know, sheltered. And while she has been, it wasn't enough to stop her from rebelling against the man.
Yeah, she had a different kind of trauma response.
Mm-hmm. Her trauma response was stay, be a secret spy, and then as soon as you try and go for somebody else, I'm gonna kill every person that's on the trip. And
Good
then
for
run
her.
away.
Good for her.
So I'm very excited to get to play a little bit more of that, cause the party seems at least semi-wholesome to the in a way, and I'm like, no, you put somebody from my old cult there, I will murder them. As long as it's not in public view of guards. In that case, I will just beat them very badly. As she should.
All right, y'all. I am gonna hop off because I have an early morning, and I'm
Yes.
coming down from at least 75% of the stress this week. So
That's fair.
I love you all.
Love you too.
I'm sorry
I
for the
love
drier
you.
session.
No, it was still fun.
You're good.
Hoping it
We
will
got
be
birds.
juicier next time.
I
You
got
did
to be
good.
scolded by Trist and then give them a guilt complex by accident, okay? We're great!
Okay.
I feel like
okay.
I'm much better at shopping now.
You are much better at shopping now.
I'm like, give me a
Like, oh,
compass, give me a weapon, give me this.
It's like, I like being a kept
Yeah.
man, thank you.
Yeah. Alright. Go sleep well. Hopefully work is better tomorrow.
Well, Gray
Yes.
will be there tomorrow, so it will be a good day.
So even if
Yeah.
it's not, you at least have someone to share in the misery.
We
Yep.
can commiserate.
we can commiserate.
Hell yeah.
It's my
Although
last
today
12-hour
wasn't
shift.
too bad. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Oh, so happy.
Yep. And
Well,
I still
fucking
come through
time.
every morning at 10. I don't lose
Yeah.
any time with you.
Exactly.
Best of both worlds, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was so funny because like Anna brought it up to Lisa once, and then Lisa's like, "Yeah, just do this."
Mhm.
So
And it was like,
I think
wow, it was
Lisa's
really
being
just that
encouraged.
easy, huh?
yeah, it was that easy. So I
Alright,
think
go to
we're
bed.
gonna like Lisa being in charge. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going. Okay,
Yeah.
love you all. Good luck.
Night. See you
Night.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Yes. And Logan, I hope that things work out okay on your end.
You know, I'm figuring it out.
Well,
Going with
we're also here for
my
you if you need it.
appreciate it. Thank you. I'll let you know how things go. Hopefully.
If you need
Fine.
like a false witness, just be like, it isn't him. I can do it. It's fine.
No. It's fine. Like I said, it's good.
Yeah.
I took screenshots of the number that they were using, like conversation pieces that we had, and then saved those in a private folder to make sure, just in case. Because I was like,
Yeah.
this is probably going to be needed.
Yeah.
So I'm fine. It seems like they don't have a whole lot of recent information about me. It's mostly stuff from when I was back in Wisconsin. So like none of my college friends or undergrad friends, even some college friends, and then even like my work, they don't have. So
That's good, at least. They're working
there's
off of
that.
obsolete
least, yeah.
information.
Like it's not information because like they still have like my parents and stuff because they've got all the like the typical like search shit. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'll keep you guys in the loop if something goes down where I'm like, yep, this just happened.
Yeah.
Life was going too smoothly.
I feel like that's a thing, yeah. Anytime you think you're like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too bad, and then suddenly they're like, that's what you think.
You're just like, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I was
that's
trying to
kinda where
be
I'm at.
positive and nice towards you, life. Why you gotta make it worse on yourself by making it worse on me?
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So now we're just here. Now we're just here doing things, trying to live.
Yep.
Typical shit.
Right.
So I am signing up for something that I've been meaning to sign up for a while, which was spurred on by this, but that's fine.
Oh,
Who you
is
signing
it
up for?
security? Computer security?
It's a thing called Delete Me, which is a very like it's just a company that like you pay them and then they will like go through like the
Go
legal
wipe
process of like
traces.
removing things. And I was for a long time like I should do that, and then I just didn't. Now I'm like, oh,
Now
I'll
it's
do
not
that.
a should, it's I need.
Yeah, now it's a okay. I'll do that now.
I have encountered a consequence. I will not do this again.
Yep.
Yep.
Totally fair. Alright. Well, then
So
I will wish you guys good night, because I also want to go to sleep.
Go sleep,
yes,
because it
get
is
some
late for
rest.
you.
I'll see you on
I'm gonna
Monday.
go.
See you Monday.
Bye, buddy.
Peace.